Hello, my dear students. Myself Dr. Pushpin Kumar Jain, Dean, IMT College of Pharmacy, Greater Noida. Here, I will discuss standardization of herbal drugs. All of you know about what are herbal drugs, what means standardization. But still, I would like to introduce standardization. What is the meaning of standardization? Standardization of anything means confirmation of its identity in terms of their shape, in terms of their size, in terms of their quality, in terms of purity, and in terms of obviously percentage incorporation of impurities. And in pharmacognosy term, the impurities are termed as adulterants. The standardization defined as confirmation of its identity and determination of its quality and purity and detection of nature of adulterants by various parameters like morphological, microscopical, physical, chemical, biological observations. These are tools on which we can identify anything. Here we discuss about herbal drugs because in pharmacognosy we deals with the study of crude drugs or herbal drugs. So when we use term crude means raw drug, and in raw drug it is compulsory to confirm the identity that this drug is this. So there are various techniques to confirm the identity of any particular herbal drug, and these tools are macroscopic macroscopic in other words also known as morphological method. Second one is microscopic method, third one is physical method, fourth one is chemical method, fifth one is biological method. Macroscopic method or morphological method. Morphos. If we if we if we divide this to morphological, then this is a Latin word morphos. Morphos means external and logos means study of. Means that study means that study based on the external feature, means you can see the property of drug with your naked eye, then that features comes under macroscopic or morphological study. Like visual inspection provides the simplest and quickest means establish identity, purity and quality. When you go for long drive on highway, you see many plants roadside, and obviously you know every plant, that this is mango plant, this is neem, this is uh, aloe, this is rose, this is hibiscus. How can you identify? You in our daily routine life, this type of study we can perform. Plants are identified by visual inspection, like color of the flower, shape of the plant, size of the plant, shape of the leaf. The, to study these features, you didn't need any ad. You can study from your naked eye. So such type of property comes under macroscopic or morphological study. Macroscopic identification of medicinal plant includes their shape, size, color, surface, texture, texture. Now, second tool is microscopical study. When two plants that are similar in looking, when two plant species that are looking similar, then it is very difficult to differentiate them with your naked eye only. So for that study, we can go for microscopical study, in which you observe the cell structure and their arrangement with the help of microscope. For this study, select a representative sample of material, and obviously sample is plant material, and if it is dried part of a plant, then it may require softening before preparation for microscopy or slide preparation, preferably by being placed in a moist atmosphere or by soaking in a water. Any water soluble content that adhere to the sample removed from the cell by soaking in water. Microscopical study includes the determination of stomatal number, determination of stomatal index, determination of Palisade ratio, determination of vein isolate number, determination of vein termination number, and quantitative microscopy includes Lycopodium spore method. Why these are selected parameters? Why? Because these are constant for a particular species that help for identification purpose. Here we use a term stomatal. Stomata. What is stomata? What is stomata? Stomata is the minute opening on the surface of the leaf, and the purpose of this minute opening is gaseous exchange. So for particular plant species, the stomatal number will be constant, and this feature help in the identification of plant. Second one is stomatal index, third one is Palisade ratio, fourth one is vein isolate number, vein termination number, and Lycopodium spore method. These all are constant for a particular plant species. Next, stomata. As I discussed about stomata, these are minute openings, means bean-shaped structure, and on the basis of arrangement of epidermal cell and the stomatal cell, the stomata may be classified into following types. First one is parasitic. Parasitic stomata means parallel celled stomata, in which stomatal cell is surrounded by two epidermal cell या subsidiary cell, and the axis of subsidiary cell is parallel to the stomatal cell. When this type of arrangement is found in any plant, then the stomata is called parasitic stomata. Dicitic stomata. In this type of stomata, the stomatal cells surrounded by two subsidiary cells, but the axis of subsidiary cells and the axis of stomatal cells are perpendicular to each other. That's why it is such type of stomata is also known as cross-celled stomata. Next is anisocytic stomata. In this type of stomata, the stomatal cell is surrounded by three subsidiary cells, in which two subsidiary cells are long and one subsidiary cell is short in size. That's why such type of stomata are also termed as unequal celled stomata. Next is anomocytic stomata. In this type of stomata, the subsidiary cells are randomly arranged. And there is no equal distribution of subsidiary cells. Therefore, such type of stomata are also termed as irregular celled stomata. Next, come to determination of Palisade ratio. Palisade ratio is the average number of Palisade cells under one epidermal cell. Such type of cell is especially present on the aerial part of the plant. And the purpose of and the function of such type of cell is to protect the plant from shock. So each epidermal cell contains number of Palisade cells, and the number of Palisade cells under one epidermal cell. The average of number of Palisade cells under one epidermal cell is termed as Palisade ratio. And again, Palisade ratio is a constant for particular plant species. For each sample of leaf, make not fewer than 10 determination and calculate the average number. Means if you want to calculate Palisade ratio, you must count more than 10 Palisade cells in a particular area. Then count Palisade ratio. Here we give an example like this is epidermal cell, this is Palisade cell. This is one epidermal cell, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4. This is another epidermal cell, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is another epidermal cell, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is another 15, 16, 17, 18. Means under 4 epidermal cells, approximately 18 Palisade cells are present. So we can determine the Palisade ratio by dividing the number of Palisade cells divided by the number of epidermal cells. Now we move to determine the stomatal index. The stomatal index is the percentage of the number of stomata formed by the total number of epidermal cells. And the formula for calculating the stomatal index is S divided by E plus S multiplied by 100, where S is the number of stomata in a given area of leaf and E is the number of epidermal cells. Epidermal cells also include trichomes in the same area of leaf. For each sample of leaf, make not less than 10 determination. Means if you like if you like to calculate stomatal index, you must count more than 10 determination. Then you find average index. Next come to vein isolate number. Vein isolate, the mesophyll of a leaf is divided into small portion of photosynthetic tissues by anastomosis of the veins and veinlet. Such small portion or areas are termed as vein isolate. The mesophyll cells of a leaf is divided into small portion of photosynthetic tissues by anastomosis of veins and veinlet. Anastomosis of vein and veinlet. Such small portion of areas are termed as vein isolate. The number of vein isolates per square millimeter is termed as vein isolate number. This value has been shown to be constant for any given species and for full grown leaves to be unaffected by the age of the plant or the size of the leaves. Means for a particular plant species, vein isolate number is a constant. It doesn't depend on the age of the plant or size of the leaf. The vein isolate number has proved useful for the critical differentiation of certainly nearly related species. Then, microscopic study also involves the histochemical detection. Means what are the tissues or cells present in a cell. Means starch grain, determination of starch grains, allurone grains, fatty acid, fatty oils, volatile oils, resins, calcium oxalate, calcium carbonate crystal, lignified cell wall, cellulose cell wall, mucilage, tannins. These are histochemical differentiation. Physical standardization of herbal drugs. First, you can differentiate the plant species on the basis of external feature. Next, on the basis of certain constant and arrangement of cells. Then again differentiate on the basis of certain histological features. Then you can also differentiate the plant species on the basis of physical parameters, like you can calculate viscosity, you can determine the melting point, solubility, moisture content, and volatile matter. Specific gravity, density, optical rotation, refractive index, particle size determination, bulk density, bitterness value, hemolytic value, swelling index, foaming index, S value, astringency, organoleptic testing, determination of S value, pH estimation, and estimation of foreign materials. These are physical parameters through which you can differentiate the plant species, different plant species. Comes to viscosity. Viscosity of a liquid is constant at a given temperature and an index of its composition. Hence, it can be used as a means of standardizing liquid. Means liquid drugs. In case of liquid drugs, you can determine the viscosity. Then melting point. In case of solid drug, pure phytochemical, a pure phytoconstant, you can determine the melting point. That is very sharp and constant for a particular species, plant species. Every phytoconstant has a very sharp and constant melting point. Means that temperature at which that phytoconstant will be melt. That temperature is known as melting point. In case of pure phytoconstraint, melting points are very sharp and constant. The crude drag from plant or animal origin containing the mixed chemicals are described with certain range of melting points. Their purity can be ascertained by determining their melting points in that range. For example, colophony melt between 75 to 80 degrees centigrade. Cocoa butter melt between 30 to 33 degrees centigrade. Another physical parameter is solubility. Every phytoconstraint has different solubility because of their polarity. Some phytoconstraints are polar in nature, some constituents are non-polar in nature. So it is well established fact that polar solute will be soluble in polar solvent. Vice versa, non-polar solute will be soluble in non-polar solvent. For example, pure asafoetida is soluble in carbon disulfide. Most of the alkaloids are soluble in mid-polar solvent like chloroform. So solubility is based on the nature polarity of the phytoconstituent present in the given sample. Then another physical parameter is moisture content. The moisture content of the drugs should be minimized in order to prevent decomposition of crude drug either due to chemical change or microbial contamination. It is well known that if anything is stored at high humid condition, then there is more chance of contamination, decomposition. So it is mandatory in case of crude drug that the moisture content must be at minimum level. Why? To prevent them from decomposition or microbial contamination. The moisture content is determined by heating of the drug at 105 degrees centigrade in an oven to a constant weight. I would like to ask a question that here we show the temperature 105 degrees centigrade. Why not 100 degrees centigrade? So I would like to tell you that 100 degrees centigrade is a 100 degrees centigrade. At 100 degrees centigrade, the water content will be removed. So at 105 or 110 degrees centigrade, the trapped water molecules will also be escape from a sample. For the drug containing volatile constants, toluene distillation method is used. If your drug contains volatile constant like clove that contains eugenol and their therapeutic or pharmacological property is due to presence of eugenol. That's why in that case we cannot use high temperature, and in that case we can use toluene distillation method. For example, another example, alloy should have moisture content not more than 10% weight by weight. Then comes to another physical parameter is optical rotation. Optical rotation made by optically active compound. Optically active compounds have the property of rotating the plane polarized light either in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. This property is known as optical rotation, and the substance or the drug that rotate the plane of polarized light is known as optically active drug. Normally, the optically active drug contains asymmetric or chiral carbon. The optical rotation is determined at 25 degrees centigrade using sodium lamp as the source of light. For example, castor oil has optical rotation from plus to plus 3.5 to plus 6 degrees centigrade. The plus sign indicates that the that castor oil rotate the plane polarized light in clockwise direction, yeah, right direction. Means such type of drug are termed as dextrorotatory, whereas negative sign indicates that the plane of polarized light rotate left side or anti-clockwise. Then then those type of drug are termed as levorotatory drug. There are another some example of optically active drug. For example, caraway oil that rotate plane polarized light from plus 74 degree to plus 80 degree. Lemon oil plus 57 degree to plus 70 degree. Terpene less lemon oil minus 5 degree to plus 2 degree. Cinnamon oil 0 degree to minus 2 degree. Peppermint oil minus 10 degree to minus 30 degree. Spearmint oil minus 45 degree to minus 60 degree. Citronella oil minus 9 degree to minus 60 degree. Citronella oil Ceylon minus 9 degree to minus 18 degree. Citronella oil Java minus 5 degree to plus 2 degree. Then comes to refractive index. When a ray of light passes from one medium to another medium of different density, then the light deviates from its original path. This term is known as refraction. Refractive index is the measurement of speed of light in air divided by speed of light in medium. It is constant for pure drug and varied with wavelength of incident light, temperature and pressure. Castor oil has refractive index 1.47 to 1.527. S value and extractive value, these are another physical parameters that is used for the determination of herbal drug or confirmation the purity of the herbal drug. S value again divided into acid insoluble S and water soluble S. Then determination of extractive value. There are different methods for the determination of extractive value: cold method, hot method, and Soxhlet method. Infusion. Fresh infusion are prepared by macerating the crude drug for a short period of time with cold or boiling water. When your drug is thermolabile, then you must make infusion. Decoction is the another process through which the drug is boiled in a specified volume of water for a defined period of time. It is then cooled and filtered. Bitterness value. Medicinal plants have a strong bitter taste and therapeutically used as an appetizer agent. The bitterness is determined by comparing the threshold bitter concentration of an extracted material with that of quinine hydrochloride. Quinine hydrochloride is the standard bitter. That's all for today. Thank you.